The man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. Seneca, have you ever stopped to reflect on the time we waste postponing our actions, dreams, and goals? How many opportunities do we miss while we procrastinate, putting off until tomorrow what we could do today? Imagine a life without the shadow of procrastination, where each day is embraced with energy and purpose. What could you accomplish? What would it be like to live without the weight of constant postponement? As we explore the teachings of the Stoics, we find a source of timeless wisdom that invites us to awaken to life and leave procrastination behind. Let's dive into 10 pieces of advice that could be the key to unlocking your full potential and transforming your journey. Before that, I invite you to interact with this content, leaving your feedback in the comments and participating in the community that seeks growth and wisdom. If you're not already subscribed, consider joining us for more insights like this. Let's now move on to the first piece of advice. 1. Find meaning in every task. This advice invites us to attribute meaning and purpose to each activity we carry out, no matter how simple it may seem. It's a deeply reflective approach that leads us to see beyond the surface of daily tasks and recognize the intrinsic value of each action. Imagine a gardener who takes care of his plants with dedication and care. For him, each plant is more than just vegetation. It is an expression of the beauty of nature, an opportunity to nurture life, and a constant reminder of the connection between all living things. Every moment dedicated to the garden becomes a practice of gratitude and a source of inspiration. In the same way, we can find meaning in our daily tasks, whether at work, in studies, in personal relationships, or in any activity we undertake. Every email sent, every word written, every interaction with others can be an opportunity to contribute to something bigger than ourselves. When we adopt this perspective, we transform the way we view our responsibilities. We no longer see them as mere duties to be fulfilled, but rather as opportunities for growth, learning, and positive impact on the world around us. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us that what doesn't help the hive doesn't help the bee. Every action we take, when done with awareness and intention, contributes to the collective well-being, whether of our community, our family, or society in general. Imagine a writer who sees every word they write as an opportunity to inspire, educate, or entertain their readers. For him, each sentence is a blank canvas on which he can paint ideas, emotions, and stories that touch people's hearts and minds. Every moment dedicated to writing becomes a journey of self-discovery and creative expression. Likewise, we can find meaning in our own daily activities, regardless of how mundane they may seem. For example, when we perform household tasks, such as washing dishes or cleaning the house, we can see them as a way of creating a welcoming and harmonious environment for ourselves and our loved ones. Every action performed with attention and care turns into an act of love and self-care. When we apply the Stoic principle of finding meaning in every task, we also develop a mindset of responsibility and commitment. Not only do we fulfill our obligations, but we also strive for excellence in everything we do, constantly seeking to improve and learn from each experience. Thus, by seeing beyond appearances and finding meaning in every aspect of our lives, we transform the way we relate to our responsibilities and goals. Procrastination loses ground when we realize the intrinsic purpose of our actions and commit to living more fully and meaningfully every day. 2. Challenge your comfort zone. This is powerful guidance for overcoming procrastination and achieving significant personal growth. This advice encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and face challenges that help us grow, learn, and become better versions of ourselves. Procrastination often arises when we feel comfortable in our familiar routine and avoid facing new or unfamiliar situations. However, when we challenge our comfort zone, we expand our limits, develop new skills, and gain greater confidence in our abilities. A powerful example of this advice is seeking new opportunities to learn and grow, even if it involves facing the unknown. For example, someone who fears public speaking may decide to enroll in a public speaking course to face this challenge. By leaving the comfort zone and practicing public speaking, this person develops not only communication skills, but also greater resilience and self-confidence. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. This teaching highlights the importance of facing our fears and hesitations, as it is through challenge that we grow and reach new heights in our lives. When we challenge our comfort zone, we also cultivate a mindset of growth and innovation. We are not content with the status quo, but we constantly seek new ways to overcome and evolve. This keeps us motivated and engaged in our goals, preventing procrastination from holding us back in our progress. A concrete example of this advice is seeking new experiences that take us out of our routine and challenge us in different ways. For example, someone who has always been afraid of traveling alone may decide to go on a solo trip to explore new places and cultures. By facing unfamiliar experience and dealing with situations that arise during travel, this person gains not only new perspectives, but also greater confidence in their ability to deal with the unknown. Furthermore, when we challenge our comfort zone, we also develop greater mental and emotional flexibility. We learn to deal with change and uncertainty in a more adaptive way, which makes us more resilient in the face of life's turmoil. The Stoic advice to challenge our comfort zone, therefore, invites us to embrace life with courage and determination, constantly seeking new opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Overcoming the tendency to procrastinate out of fear of the unknown, we expand our horizons and discover a world of possibilities beyond our self-imposed limitations. Therefore, when we challenge our comfort zone, we not only overcome procrastination when we face our fears and hesitations, but we also pave the way for a richer, more meaningful life full of personal and professional achievements. 3. Break tasks down into manageable steps. Dividing tasks into manageable steps is a fundamental strategy for overcoming procrastination and increasing effectiveness in our activities. This Stoic advice reminds us of the importance of breaking big tasks into smaller, more achievable pieces, which helps us stay focused, motivated, and making steady progress toward our goals. When we break down a complex task into simpler, more manageable steps, we make the process of accomplishment more tangible and less intimidating. This allows us to focus our energy and attention on one step at a time, which makes it easier to develop a clear and efficient action plan. A practical example of this advice is creating a detailed schedule or task list, where each step is clearly defined and has a specific deadline. For example, if we are working on a project, we can divide the activities into distinct phases, such as research, planning, execution, and review. Each phase can be subdivided into smaller, more specific tasks, making it easier to monitor progress and identify any obstacles. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that haste is the enemy of perfection. When we divide tasks into manageable steps, we avoid work overload and the feeling of being under constant pressure. This allows us to work more efficiently and productively, without compromising the quality of our work. Additionally, breaking down tasks into smaller steps also helps us celebrate small achievements along the way, which increases our motivation and confidence in our ability to achieve our goals. Each completed step brings us closer to the desired end result, which encourages us to continue moving forward even in the face of challenges and setbacks. However, when we break the task into smaller, more accessible parts, we reduce feelings of overwhelm and increase confidence in our ability to handle each part of the process. This allows us to get to work more easily, knowing that each step will bring us closer to successfully completing the task. Additionally, breaking down tasks into manageable steps allows us to adjust and adapt our plan as needed. As we move forward and face new challenges or discover additional information, we can review and reorganize our steps to ensure we stay on track toward our goals. The Stoic advice to break down tasks into manageable steps also helps us develop a more systematic and organized approach to our work. This allows us to effectively prioritize tasks, distribute our time and resources more efficiently, and stay focused on the most important and urgent activities. Don't forget, when we apply this advice to our lives, we overcome procrastination when we make tasks more accessible, reducing the anxiety and stress associated with large projects and increasing our effectiveness and productivity by working in a more organized and focused way. 4. Cultivate gratitude for the opportunity to act. Top of form. This is one of the fundamental principles of Stoic philosophy that helps us overcome procrastination and adopt a more active and engaged approach to our responsibilities and goals. This Stoic guidance reminds us of the importance of valuing every opportunity to act, whether big or small, for it is through action that we transform our intentions into tangible results and achieve progress in our lives. By cultivating gratitude for the opportunity to act, we develop a more positive and motivated mindset towards work and the goals we set for ourselves. It helps us overcome procrastination when we constantly remind ourselves of the value and importance of each step we take towards our goals. It is extremely important to practice gratitude daily, taking time to reflect on the opportunities to act that arise in our lives. This can include expressing gratitude for the skills and resources we have to accomplish our tasks, for the people who support us in our efforts, and for the learning and growth opportunities we encounter along the way. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. This highlights the importance of adopting an attitude of gratitude and responsibility in relation to our actions and choices, recognizing that we are the main agents of change in our lives. In addition to cultivating gratitude for the opportunity to act, Stoic philosophy also teaches us to value the present moment and to make the most of every moment we have to act and make a difference in our lives and the lives of others. This means recognizing that time is a precious and limited resource, and that every day, every hour, and every minute are unique opportunities to act, grow, and contribute meaningfully to the world around us. When we cultivate this mindset of gratitude for the gift and the opportunity to act, we develop a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in our daily activities. It helps us overcome procrastination when we constantly remind ourselves of the importance of each action we take and the impact we can have through them. A practical example of this principle is adopting a conscious and intentional approach to time. This includes setting clear priorities, setting realistic goals, and dedicating time and energy to activities that are truly meaningful and aligned with our values and goals. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that life is long if you know how to use it. This highlights the importance of making the most of every moment we have, acting with purpose, integrity, and gratitude for the opportunity to make a difference. When we apply the Stoic advice of cultivating gratitude for the opportunity to act and value the present moment, we transform procrastination into an active and committed attitude towards life. This empowers us to achieve our goals, live more meaningfully, and contribute positively to the world around us, leaving a legacy of fulfillment and inspiration for future generations. 5. Celebrate the small victories and keep moving forward. This is powerful advice from Stoic philosophy that helps us maintain motivation, overcome procrastination, and persevere towards our goals, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. This Stoic orientation highlights the importance of recognizing and valuing each achievement, no matter how small, throughout our journey. This includes not only celebrating major milestones and achievements, but also appreciating daily progress, gradual improvements, and learnings gained along the way. By celebrating small victories, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude and recognition for our effort and dedication. It motivates us to keep moving forward, even when things get challenging, as we recognize that every step taken is a step in the right direction, no matter how small. A practical example of this advice is keeping a diary of achievements and progress. This allows us to record and reflect on victories, no matter how small, along our journey. It could be anything from completing an important task to learning a new skill or overcoming a personal obstacle. When we do this, we develop a sense of accomplishment and encouragement that drives us to keep moving forward. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that it is better to mind your own business than to desire what is not. This highlights the importance of focusing on our personal progress and our individual achievements, rather than constantly comparing ourselves to others or desiring results beyond our direct control. That's why it's important to apply the Stoic advice of celebrating small victories and continuing to move forward. We transform procrastination into motivation and determination towards our goals. This helps us stay focused on gradual progress and continuous improvement, building a solid foundation for long-term success in all areas of our lives. 6. Live in the now, not tomorrow. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, life, if well lived, is long enough. When we focus on the present and act with determination, we avoid putting off what matters. Don't leave until tomorrow what can be done today. This advice emphasizes the importance of focusing on the present and acting decisively, rather than putting off tasks until the future. Procrastination often arises when we get lost in worries about what is to come, failing to take advantage of and face the opportunities and challenges of the present moment. By following this advice, we are encouraged to cultivate awareness of the present moment, practicing mindfulness and presence in the here and now. This allows us to make conscious decisions and act effectively, without being burdened by anxieties or future expectations. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that life is long enough if it is lived well, highlighting the importance of enjoying each moment and not putting off until later what we can do now. By adopting this mindset, we find more clarity in our priorities and become more efficient in achieving our tasks and goals. Living in the now is also related to recognizing the importance of the present as the only tangible reality we have. The past has already happened and the future is yet to come, but it is in the present that we have the ability to act and make a difference in our lives. Understanding this Stoic perspective, we are invited to direct our energy and attention to what we can do now, rather than worrying excessively about what has not yet happened or what has already passed and cannot be changed. Additionally, living in the now helps us cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. When we value the small joys, achievements, and experiences of everyday life, we enrich our lives and find motivation to move forward with our purposes. The Stoic advice to live in the now not only helps us combat procrastination, but also develop a more conscious, focused, and balanced mindset. When we practice being present in the present moment, we can experience a greater sense of fulfillment, satisfaction, and fullness in our lives. 7. Accept the imperfect and act. This is a profound and transformative approach to dealing with our own limitations and the imperfections of the world around us. This advice reminds us of the importance of acting despite imperfect circumstances and the difficulties we encounter along the way. When we accept the imperfect, we recognize that things will not always go as planned, that we will make mistakes, and that we will face unexpected obstacles. However we adopt an attitude of acceptance and action, we become more flexible and adaptable to evolving circumstances. A practical example of this advice is dealing with failure. We all experience failure at some point in our lives, whether in our personal relationships, our professional projects, or our personal goals. When we accept that failing is a natural part of the learning and growth process, we can learn from our mistakes, adjust our strategies, and move forward with more determination and wisdom. Furthermore, by accepting the imperfect and taking action, we also develop greater emotional resilience. We do not let ourselves be discouraged by difficulties or setbacks, but we seek creative solutions and maintain a positive attitude even in the face of challenges. The Stoic advice to accept the imperfect and act, therefore, invites us to cultivate a mindset of continuous progress and self-development. Instead of focusing on the search for utopian perfection, we value the process of growth and learning, recognizing that each experience, however imperfect, can teach us something valuable and make us more resilient and wise. When we internalize this advice into our lives, we not only overcome procrastination in facing our fears and hesitations, but we also embrace life's journey with more courage, acceptance, and gratitude for who we are and what we can become. Before we move on to the next piece of advice, as I know that if you are in this video, it is because you are a person who has constantly sought wisdom, be sure to comment on the secret phrase, "I overcame procrastination," or "I will be more productive urgent." Declare these phrases and reflect on them. You will see how your life will change. 8. Cultivate internal discipline. This is a compass that guides us on the journey of overcoming procrastination and gaining greater control over our actions and thoughts. This guidance reminds us of the vital importance of cultivating internal discipline as an essential tool for directing our efforts consistently and effectively. Internal discipline is the ability to stay focused on our goals, even in the face of distractions, temptations, and challenges that arise along the way. It's about developing healthy habits, setting clear goals, and maintaining a constant commitment to our own personal and professional evolution. A practical example of this advice is to create a daily routine that helps us maintain balance and productivity in our activities. This may include engaging in regular physical exercise to strengthen the body and mind, meditation to cultivate mental clarity, and reduce stress, setting realistic and achievable goals to guide us toward success, and organizing work. Time efficiently to prioritize the most important and urgent tasks. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches us that the first and best victory is to conquer oneself. This means that true discipline begins within ourselves, with the self-control and self-determination to act in accordance with our values and goals, even when doing so requires effort and sacrifice. When we cultivate internal discipline, we also develop greater resistance to the urge to procrastinate. We learn to resist temptations to postpone our responsibilities and commitments, staying focused on what really matters and avoiding the traps of procrastination. Therefore, when we apply the Stoic advice to cultivate internal discipline, we strengthen our ability to act with determination and perseverance toward our most meaningful goals. We overcome procrastination by adopting a disciplined approach to life, which allows us to achieve a greater sense of fulfillment, success, and well-being in all areas of our lives. 9. Learn from failure and start over. Learning from failure and starting over is one of the most valuable pieces of advice in Stoic philosophy when it comes to overcoming procrastination and achieving long-term success. This advice reminds us of the importance of viewing failures and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. When we face failure in a task, project, or goal, it is natural to feel discouraged, frustrated, or even tempted to give up. However, the Stoic approach teaches us to see failure as an inevitable and valuable part of the process of personal growth and development. When we learn from failure, we must carefully analyze what went wrong, identifying lessons to be learned and adjusting our approach to improve in the future. This not only makes us more resilient in the face of adversity, but also allows us to develop valuable problem-solving, adaptation, and continuous improvement skills. A practical example of this advice is reflecting on past experiences in which we faced failures or setbacks. We ask ourselves what we could have done differently, what lessons we can learn from the situation, and how we can apply these lessons to our future activities and projects. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that the man who persists in his folly will eventually be wise. This highlights the importance of persevering and learning from our mistakes and failures rather than being defeated by them. Each failure brings us closer to success, as long as we are willing to learn and grow from these experiences. Furthermore, the advice to start over encourages us not to get stuck in the past or failure, but rather to look to the future with determination and hope. It's the ability to start over and keep moving forward that allows us to overcome procrastination and achieve our most important goals. In addition to learning from failure and starting over, Stoic philosophy also teaches us to adopt an attitude of humility and self-knowledge in the face of adversity. This means recognizing our limitations, learning from our mistakes, and being open to new ideas and perspectives that can help us evolve and grow. A key part of this advice is to develop the capacity for constructive self-criticism. This involves honestly evaluating our actions, thoughts, and decisions, identifying areas where we can improve, and actively seeking ways to develop personally and professionally. Another practical example of this advice is seeking feedback from others about our performance and behavior. When we receive constructive criticism, we can identify areas for improvement and development, which allows us to learn from mistakes and become more effective in our activities. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us that what we do not do consciously, we do unconsciously. This highlights the importance of cultivating awareness of our actions and decisions so that we can learn from them and evolve positively over time. When we apply the Stoic advice to learn from failure and start over, we strengthen our ability to face challenges, overcome procrastination, and achieve success in our lives. Each experience of failure becomes an opportunity for growth and learning, allowing us to constantly evolve and get closer and closer to our deepest goals and aspirations. 10. Keep the focus on the process, not the result. This is essential advice from Stoic philosophy that helps us overcome procrastination and adopt an approach more focused on the present and the quality of our actions, instead of worrying exclusively about the final results. This Stoic orientation reminds us of the importance of committing to the work and effort that goes into each task, rather than becoming distracted or worrying excessively about what comes next. It's about valuing the process of learning, growth, and personal development that occurs as we work towards our goals. When we stay focused on the process, we cultivate a more resilient and determined mindset, as we recognize that real progress comes from our consistent and committed actions over time. It helps us overcome procrastination when we focus on what we can control, our efforts, commitment, and dedication, rather than worrying about external factors or outcomes beyond our direct control. We can take a deliberate and mindful approach to work and goals. This includes defining clear and efficient processes, establishing achievable and measurable steps to achieve our objectives, and maintaining a consistent commitment to quality and excellence in every activity we undertake. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that control of what you do, not what happens to you, is what matters. This highlights the importance of focusing on what is within our reach, our actions and efforts, rather than worrying about outcomes that are often beyond our direct control. Additionally, focusing on the process rather than the outcome also helps us reduce the anxiety and stress associated with seeking specific results or worrying about the future. When we focus on the work we are doing in the present moment, we reduce the pressure on ourselves and allow ourselves to enjoy the process of learning, growing, and achieving. An important aspect of this advice is the notion that true progress and success come from constant committed practice, not isolated achievements or immediate results. It is through consistency and continued dedication that we build a solid foundation for long-term personal and professional growth. A practical example of this principle is adopting a mindset of continuous learning and constant improvement. This means being open to constructive feedback, learning from mistakes and failures, and constantly looking for new ways to improve our skills and knowledge. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the universe is change, life is opinion. This highlights the importance of being open to changes and adaptations along the way, recognizing that the process of personal evolution and growth is a continuous and dynamic journey. When we apply the Stoic advice to focus on the process, not the outcome, we transform procrastination into a more mindful and committed approach to meaningful work and continuous improvement. This enables us to achieve our goals in a more consistent and satisfactory way, while developing a more resilient mindset, focused on personal and professional growth. Now is the time to put these insights into practice. Every step we take toward action reminds us of the power we have over our choices and the freedom that comes when we overcome procrastination. Share your experiences, reflections, and achievements in the comments to engage with yourself and other viewers. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe to stay up to date with all the news. Don't forget to leave your like and activate the notification bell. See you in the next video. Until then,